Okay, so what I wanted to show you next was probably one of the most useful things I have made, because I use it pretty much daily. And you've probably seen it at the top of my videos. It's this right here. It's a task manager. And it's a task manager that I found just works so well with my brain. If you struggle with task organization, this might be something for you. It's very simple. The calendar one is counting things that are far away. This urgent one, or this high priority one, is counting things that are today or tomorrow. And the X is ones that are late. So notice that I don't care about things from a week from now. Is it 2 days from now? Okay, then I don't care. Because of this, I've been able to be very productive. It's actually been just so helpful. I call it the Better Task Manager. It's written in C. We can get an estimate of how many lines of code it is. 473. I also organized this a little bit differently with like the source files there. And so all it is in essence is just a text file. It's another CSV, and we define where it is. So there's in my local share, there is a to-do file. Now, at the moment I have none, as you can see, which is a testament to how much it works. That is a testament to how well it works, because as soon as there's a number on there, I want to get rid of the number. It bugs me. I will show you how it works with an example, and then I'll get into the nitty-gritty of how it works. So I am doing help here. I can also do -h, of course. And there's not many kind of methods for it. Upcoming is what's using the status bar at the top. Lists all of the tasks you have to do, days to them, colors. Adding a task is probably the most complicated one because you're actually giving it a name, task description, things like that. And then remove just removes it when you're done. So we will add a few tasks here. And I'll do it the explicit way. I will say, I'll call it test, and its description will be test task, and I'll do this one in a long form. The date is going to be today, and it does have to be in this format here, otherwise it will cry. So you give it the day, and notice there's no date time because I like to know what I need to do on a day. I can put multiple in a day. I don't necessarily care about which time things are going to be. That's a bit too restrictive for me. The only thing I need timings for is like meetings. When it comes to tasks and things I have to do, it's like, oh, I need to get it done by this day. Okay, so I'll add that one. And it does actually check if it's been added to the CSV. Otherwise, it will say, couldn't add task if the file is moved or changed or something. And you see at the top there, because that was today, it's on the high priority. Now, if I change this one to test late and put this ages ago, like the 1st, then you'll see this is going to change in a minute. I think I have it checking every 5 seconds or so. And then I'll put one into the future. I will put this at 20. And I'll make this one up for upcoming. And so you see we now have one of each. And I can do -u, it shows the same thing, that's popping up there. If I do -l or -list, it shows all of them, nicely colored. And I like how it shows me the days to the task. That's quite useful for me as well. Helps me think about it. And then when we're ready, we can remove them. So I want to remove the test late. I want to remove the just test, and I want to remove the test up. And if we list them now, there's nothing to list, and we'll see satisfyingly that pops to 0. So yeah, like I said, this is very simple. but it really works for me. I really like it, and it's just a simple like little C program. It's great. It's just reading a little text file. We will have a look at the main function, have a look at how some of the methods work. Not all of them are actually, so there is a struct, which is a task, but most of the methods don't use them. So display upcoming does. It has this array of tasks, and it uses this mighty function, CSV to task array. This looks quite scary, but it actually isn't. It allocates enough for 50 tasks. If more than 50, it's going to start doubling, similar to the CMail thing. But what this is actually doing is it opens up the task file, loops for every line. And this code was actually stolen from my flashcard app. That's why it says deck in there. And yeah, so it loops for every line, splits it by the commas, and then based on the position of the columns, it will either add it to a task name, task text, or task date. So it does read in the header row, which obviously isn't a task, it's just a header. That's sorted out later. I think task name. Task name. Here it is. So this is what stops that from being, whoops, a problem. Where was that? Task name. Oh, I'm back here. I need to go into the... here it is. So what this is saying is that if the first task name of the task array is task name, that means it's not actually a task, it's just the header row, and it gets rid of it. That does mean that if you have the to-do file, you can get rid of the headers. They don't actually matter, and if they are there, it just kind of gets rid of them internally. It uses selection sort to sort them by date. So it gets the difference between the two date strings, parses them, and then just orders it by date. And let's go back to the main, because we're going to look at display tasks. Display tasks is very similar to the showing upcoming. Obviously, it just prints them all out individually rather than adding them up and accumulating them. This is how priorities look like internally, by the way. So there's urgent, high, and low. That's an enum. And depending on what the priority is, it'll color it differently when it uses this print task function. So just display task is very similar to this, the one that displays the bar at the top, except it uses this print task here. Once again, let's go to the main. And this is adding a task. Now, adding a task is pretty simple. It doesn't need structs or anything like that. It literally just opens the file in append mode, shoves it in there, and then checks if that worked, and then it returns. And similarly, deletion is also not very fancy. It doesn't need to read in all of the tasks. Remove task by name. So this one is actually making a temporary file. It reads every line to the temporary file apart from the ones that we want to skip. So when these two are equal, C is a bit weird. That this usually means the opposite, but it's actually saying when these two things are the same, when the tasks are removed and the task name are the same, skip it. Just don't add it to the new file, and then it overrides the old file with the temporary one, and hence it deletes the one that we don't care about. So those are all. That's it. Those are all the methods in this. Like I said, very simple, but I find it very effective. I did used to have a different version of this that was written in Rust, and that had some fancier features. but I do prefer writing in C a lot of the time. Although Rust is great, I like Rust as well. I do think I will be adding some more features to this, pulling from my uni calendar and things like that. But yeah, that's basically it. That's my better task manager.